Hi everyone, look at our harvest. We have 3 big bowl of peppers. So this is just amazing, guys. These are more or less 30 bushes of peppers, and this is actually the last harvest. On top of the many small harvests that I have done in the past, this is still our last harvest. I have to harvest them now because of the cold season. And guess what we're gonna do with these beautiful creatures? Okay, this area here, I am planning to roast this one and preserve this one in vinegar and oil. But these ones we're gonna give them away to our friends, neighbor. So we're gonna give this away, and the rest of this, the leftover, I will process it in fermentation, and some of this also will go in the freezer. So we're gonna divide all the storage system. So let's get ready, guys. So let me tell you what is our setup here. Of course, I started the pepper without hand gloves on, but I can feel the tinginess in my skin. So of course, must have some hand gloves because of the heat of the pepper. So I have here my tiny knife, and also cutting board, and something to catch the skin when I skin the peppers, and also a container. So this is our setup right now. This will make our process a lot more smoother. So let's get started. So before I cutting this, I already pre-soaked this. I already washed this in baking water, in water with baking soda, and then I just allow this one to drain overnight, so that it's not watery when we process it. Okay, so now I'm basically just removing the seeds from inside, because I don't want the seeds. Or you can have an option. If you want the seeds, you can leave the seeds on, but I don't like to eat too many seeds. Yeah. And also remember to also pre-boiled water, because I forgot to do that last night. So now I'm just pre-boiling water, because the water needs to be cooled down before using it in fermentation. Okay, so I'm gonna get this going, guys, and I'll get back to you soon. So we are almost finished one big bowl, and this is just basically removing the seeds from it. And we have one big collection of pepper right there. Now our next step is to cut them into small sizes, into about 5-6 centimeter, one at a time. So it's a lot of time to spend, but I'm enjoying it, guys. I love the smell of pepper. It's very refreshing. Oops, there. So now let's cut this. So our next step is to cut our peppers into smaller sizes. And so in this job, because we have so much to do to cut, we are going to use a spiralizer, a cutter, an automatic machine cutter. And so we're gonna get this one done. So the first thing we have to do is to turn on our machine, and then we're gonna put our stuff in. Oops. So we have finished this in less than a minute. All of our cuttings, a big pail of this is all done. Just a minute of cutting it in this machine. So that is the goodness of investing in a efficient and high quality machines. So guys, we're gonna continue measuring our weight. The measuring of the weight is just basically an approximate. It doesn't have to be exact. But it's good to have an idea how much you're dealing with, so that you can anticipate how much salt you want to use. And in this case of mine, guys, I'm tracking it with my calculator, and I just keep adding my gram on it. So once we finish everything, we can then gonna measure our salt. So we have approximately 4,000 of our peppers, the cut peppers. Now we are going to measure our salt. And so now we're going to measure our salt. So we're gonna put this one on a tare on 0, and then approximately it says that I have 4,000 gram here. So with 4,000 gram, I multiply that with 2. We have approximately 80 grams of salt that we need. So we're just gonna measure about 80 grams. We're gonna zero this one out. 0 grams. We're gonna put 80 in here. As you can see on the table that there are juice coming out from the peppers. So at this point, I'm not going to add any water. But I already pre-boiled water, and I'm also waiting for the water to cool down. But at this point, as we know that this has a lot of juice, this is generating juice right now. When you press it that way, it's getting so juicy. So at this point, we're not gonna add any water, but we're going to add our salt in here. And I'm gonna save a little bit, about a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of salt, so that this salt, we're going to add this later in the water in case we need it, in case we need to add some water. Now at this point, we're just gonna basically mash it with salt, and then we're going to leave it so that it can generate its own water. And I have a trick how to do that, to make them generate its own water after mashing it. So I'm gonna show it to you just later. Let's mash it, guys. We're gonna mash it with salt in there, and you can see that it's already juicing, right? It's nice and juicing. So you can see the juice starting to juice. So the salt will bring us enough juice, and if we don't have enough juice, we're going to add some water, pre-boiled, cool down water. So guys, as you can see, there's enough juice in here in our container. Look at that, right? So now we are ready to put this together in a jar. We're ready to pack this up. And in packing this one up, I'm gonna remember that I save a little bit of salt in it later. So we're gonna add this one. Now we slowly add some salt there, and we're just gonna basically fill this one up in our jar. And as we go along, once we about half full, we're going to add a little bit more salt. So as we go along, we're also gonna pack them up slowly on layers. So I use this one. This is so good. It has something there. Or if you don't have anything, just like this one too. This is also good for it. You can also use this one. So anything that you can use to press things down. So as you can see, guys, okay, you can just pressing them down, and as you press it, there are juice that is being built in the bottle. So you're basically pressing down, and you are also juicing them at the same time. So I will continue doing this, and at this point also we can add mustard and peppers. At this point you can layer what you want, and normally I just love something simple, just like some mustard seeds. That's really good. If you want to have fennel, you can add fennel. You want to add dill, you can add dill. So we just basically now layering them. So now I'm gonna layer them up, and I'm gonna add some peppers as well, because I like spicy. I like pepper. Okay, and then also bay leaves. I do a lot for bay leaves, because I do find bay leaf. I symbolize bay leaf for luck and blessing. So I always work with bay leaf, and we're just gonna decorate our container with bay leaves. Yeah. So as you see, guys, the right tool is really important. So now I also added another panel to make this work faster and more effectively. So as we presses it down, you can see that they are producing a lot of juice. And with additional panel, I don't lose too many of them earlier. Earlier, I did not use panel, and so I see all this one are wasted on the peppers on the outside the jar. But now with the panel, it catches us. So this is just like a business, guys. We use panel in our global online business model. And you can see, guys, with the right tools, you can do the job a lot better. See how the juicing is coming up? So in this case, we don't really need extra water. We don't need. Okay. I want to make sure I want to put them in right there. So So I'm putting some hole so that I can generate some weight for it to stay underneath. That's probably just too much. Okay, now we'll see if this is gonna work. This will hold in onto it, and now we can put this glass to surface up. Okay, so that's good for me. I'm happy with that. Okay, so that's good. Okay. Just have a lid, but do not use metal. But occasionally you just have to open it, and so that you can burp it. So, but for now, I'm using this one because I do this as a regular basis. That's my hobby of preserving it. So now I do invest on tools like this. So this one has a nipple on it. The carbon buildup can escape on its own without me opening the jar. Just gonna lift this up. Okay, so tomorrow we're gonna check this one again and see how it goes, right? I'm pretty sure it will overflow. It will be more juices that will be built up on it. And so when we store this in a dark, we're gonna store this in a dark room temperature. We're going to use okay. Oh no, my lid is not fitting properly. Okay, I have to figure out my lid. That's good. Okay. So when I store this in a room temperature, I will put something plastic or something like this that it can catch up the juice. So this is our first pack, and we're going to also label this one so that we know how old will this be. Okay, so that's our first pack of our fermenting pepper. Enjoy, everybody, and I hope that I can give you value today. You can do this. You can ferment anywhere you are around the world, and you can harvest, you can plant, harvest your hard work, the rewards of your hard work or planting, and try to preserve them whenever you have excess.